Hello and welcome to the Optimize Show. I am David Mamano, your host, with another, what I know is going to be a great episode. I have just a really great human, great business owner, really great friend, Victor, New York. We go to the same church. We have kids the same age. We were meant to be friends. Brian Reh from Gorbel. Brian, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to be here, Dave. Thanks so much.
I'm so excited to have you here. We met years
likewise.
ago. I think we met through John Engels, even before we knew each other from Victor, right?
Yeah.
The leadership coach.
Yep.
You still work with him at all?
John is a great friend. We keep in close touch and
Yeah.
attend his annual retreats and just
Yeah.
want to keep him part of my life. for
Yeah.
sure.
I haven't been to
Great
one
guy.
of his. John Engels is a great leadership coach if you want to get to know him. But and then living in Victor, and you have a daughter named Anna. I have a son named Alessio, who are born like days apart.
Yep.
We would run into each other.
For the prenatal visits.
Yeah,
yep.
the prenatal visits. Yeah. And then I think our other kids are around the same age as well. I think Nolan and Melania are a year apart. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was a year apart.
Something
Yep.
like that. Yeah. So and Gianluca is so our timing is great. So
It is, yes. Yeah, we're on a similar wave here.
yeah. But we're not here to talk about our friendship, which we could talk about for a long time. We're here to talk about this great company that you run called Gorbel. You're doing some amazing things. So definitely want to talk about some of the great things you're doing with the workplace culture. You do a lot of stuff to optimize the people, the talent, the culture, and I know that is forefront in everything that you do. So we're going to definitely dig into that. But let's start with, give us the just the overview of the history of the company.
Sure.
How did you start out? When did you start out? And what has the evolution been?
Happy to, yeah. So Gorbel, we've been around since 1977. And my father, Dave Reh, was our founder back then. Started in very humble beginnings over in Fairport, New York. And we've since moved our headquarters over to Victor. I grew up kind of alongside the business, born in, when I was age 3 or 4 when it was founded. But my dad is an entrepreneur. He's from Western New York, from Orchard Park. He had just a humble vision. If he could create a company of 20, 30 people, takes care of his family and others, takes really good care of customers, that balance would be just an ideal, setup for him. Got into a few different product lines that really took off. In particular, some lifting devices, these ergonomic crane systems and lifting devices that align with what is now our mission of improving people's lives. That focuses on our customers as well as our people. That we've kind of ridden that wave throughout, and we've continued to add products. We are a manufacturer at heart. We have, at this point, factories here in Victor and Henrietta in the Rochester area, also in Alabama, Arizona. We have an office in Detroit, and then we've been in China now for 17 years, believe it or not.
17 years. I
Yeah.
remember it's like just yesterday when you guys were talking about going over there.
Yeah. So it's been the evolution picture of a strong manufacturer, customer focus, people focus, driven by those foundational values of who my father was as a humble, good, visionary kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I came into the business. I had a career with General Electric to start out of college as an engineer, working in manufacturing. Came into the business really around 2001. So 20 plus years. I've really enjoyed kind of building upon all the great foundational pieces that my dad set up, and then there's a lot of our leadership and employees now that are still with us after decades. And so today we stand about over 700 employees in North America, Asia, a few in Europe, and more chapters to write.
Yeah. Well, I love that, at the end of the day, and you said that you're a manufacturing company, but your goal is to improve people's lives. Right?
Exactly. Yep,
and
it is.
That's interesting because some manufacturing companies may be like, to be the best piston, to be the best, whatever part they make. And I'm sure you make incredible products with great, precision and quality. But at the end of the day, your goal is to improve people's lives inside and outside the company.
It is. Yeah. Our mission is simple. Often you'll see a mission statement, it'll be 3 or 4 sentences or paragraphs long, and it doesn't boil down to what does this mean for me? Whether I'm on the receiving end of the business as a customer or experiencing it as an employee. And that that few simple words that we improve people's lives is something we get behind, and frankly, it serves as a filter for any kind of new ventures or products we want to take on. If it's not hitting on all those elements of improving people's lives, we say no.
Yeah.
So we're in, again, ergonomic lifting and safety. We're in fall protection, keeping people safe. We make conveyor systems that make one of the toughest jobs on the planet of loading and unloading trucks just super easy and productive and safe. So it's we've been fortunate to be able to find those opportunities that align with what I think is a powerful mission.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're in China and you're so people focused. How did the pandemic affect that part of what's so important to you?
Yeah. I haven't been to China since it'd be fall of 2019, and I have plans to get back there this year. But our team, based on kind of what we built it from, which is, again, the same culture, the same values, the same principles. Our leaders there today at the top of the organization are the same ones that helped really dig the foundation to put up a building back in 2005 before we opened. So Mr. Guo is our vice president over there now, and Ting Zhang, who is our employee number 2, she is our general manager, and they're like family to us. So we have at Gorbel a strategy map which really frames, again, mission, vision, values, and it's on one piece of paper, kind of what we're all about, where we're trying to go. And we have a version of that which is in Mandarin, is in the Chinese language. So the look, the feel, the expectations we sowed those seeds years ago. So getting to your question of the pandemic, China did fantastic throughout it. I mean, it was up and down with closings and just the whole crazy of vaccinations and rolling shutdowns and things like that. But the demand was strong, the team stuck together, and really are coming out healthier than we've ever been at the end of it. Yeah,
the show went on.
It has gone on.
Yeah.
It was tough. I mean, as everybody, and you're in business the last few years. It's been quite a ride.
Well, we thought it was tough here with lockdowns and quarantines, et cetera.
Oh, man.
From what I understand, it was a little bit tougher in China.
It was. I mean, little stories that, for example, if you travel to particular regions, they track you. You have a phone, you have an app that's downloaded, and if you go to a place that might be a high concentration of COVID, and you come back somewhere else, you'll go from green circle to a yellow or a red. We've had people that would travel somewhere, they couldn't get off a train because they were red and got to turn around to go back. So it was an amazing feat of kind of biological tracking of people, but made it quite difficult.
Yeah, I guess we appreciate our freedom a little bit more when we hear stories like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So your strategy map, which you sent me, the one that you use here in the U.S., you also sent me the one in Mandarin.
Right.
So we're going to put those on the screen for everybody to see. But tell us a little bit about that. And this is called the Optimize Show, and when I read it, I also noticed that you use the word optimize in the left column about continuing to optimize the culture and the people and the processes, right? So what is a strategy map and how do you use it?
Yeah, great question. So if you look at that, the left side is we call our strategic intent, and that's in a handful of sentences. The elevator pitch summary of all the bubbles that you see on the right side. But at the top of that is our mission and our vision. So we improve people's lives is our mission. And our vision is we defy gravity, literally and in spirit. So again, nice, tight, but that's focusing on what we do. We unweight things to make life better for people. And we live on kind of the leading edge of technology and what's next and new. So the framework, just to paint the picture, is based off roughly a thing called the balanced scorecard, which is a fundamental, foundational, strategic tool that a business can use, where we have our mission vision at the top. Then in between, kind of the next level there is around our economic engine of, yes, profitability is good, but how we utilize it. And the key word in there is reinvestment, putting things back into the business to optimize processes, optimize and create new products, focus on culture. And then throughout, we have all of our product lines, we have our strategic objectives, which is how we're choosing to show up differently and be the best at various ways of operating our business. But I think most importantly, at the bottom of that map, there's 4 foundational values. And those are integrity, positive people in a positive and inclusive environment, extraordinary customer experience, and then future orientation. And so behind those, I could talk stories around kind of from where they came, but those are woven throughout the organization back to this whole theme of creating, sustaining, and optimizing culture across multiple states, multiple countries, multiple demographics. Those have really served us well. So summary is that strategy map is a guiding light. It's all over the walls. It's seen every 3 months in our all-in quarterly employee meetings. Any project or role in the company can track to something on that map. So it's not the 100-page strategic plan that sits in the drawer, but the thought was to have one place where we could constantly say, this is what Gorbel's about, and we can tell the story from that.
Yeah, no, I loved it. It's very easy to read too. It's not something that you're going to lose people with. I mean, anybody can understand what you're trying to do. And as you said before, you say these 2 words often: the people first.
Yeah.
And that's what I got from that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the intent and genuinely where we wanted to want the priority to be.
Yeah, it worked. And then thanks for sharing that through about COVID, because I really haven't talked to anybody on the show yet about someone who is based in the U.S. but has a China operation. So that was really, and so be interesting. Maybe we'll have you on the show again when you go over there and come back. Right?
It'll be soon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a little teaser for everybody here. If you watch the show, you're going to see a picture that you put on Facebook during COVID of Brian's COVID hair.
Yeah.
when the hair salons and barbers were closed, versus when he got the haircut. It's a very good one.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah.
It's all good. So I have been to your place. I've been to Gorbel, and when I walked in, right in the lobby there, there's pictures of all these, the team that's been there for X amount of years. I believe you call it the anniversary wall.
Yep.
Tell us about that. Why do you do that?
Yeah. So the people talk about a company brand, and when you often think about that, you're thinking logos or technology or what somebody is good at, from a customer standpoint. But we have that, and we have kind of a people branding. We want our products and the feel and the culture to be all interwoven with people. So when you come in, and that's typically that entrance where you come in is where maybe a new applicant to the company comes in, or a guest, a customer, a vendor. We want people to really know that we have great affinity for our people. So that wall represents that one 15 years or more of service. And so our marketing team did an amazing job using some of our products, which are crane systems, to hang this big magnetic wall. And then we got headshots of everybody that are magnets that stick up there, and they move up from 15 to 20 to 25 plus years. But it's a very small way to point out that we have great people. We honor folks that are loyal and want to live and breathe the culture for year after year. And yeah, it's a simple way to do it. And also, as you walk through our facilities, you'll see big kind of pictures of people with some quotes from them. Again, just to represent, in their words, a little snippet of what it's like to work at Gorbel.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the record? Who's worked there the longest?
We've got a lot of folks are retiring off the end there, but the current employee with the most tenure, his name is Mike Taylor. And Mike started about 1980. Okay. So he's in his 40 plus years now.
So 3 years after.
Yep.
So he was like employee maybe number
he's top 10.
Yeah, I was going to say within the 10, right?
Yep.
So you knew your dad very well, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy. I love it. So we were talking a little bit before the show, and you have done something recently which you called, I like the way you described it, a transformational acquisition. So you just didn't buy a company. You made a transformational acquisition. I love that. So tell us about that. And from, and optimizing the culture mix
Right.
How did that go? Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, I mean, culture's never done, and but this acquisition was, I guess, step back one second. So Gorbel has typically been in, we call it the overhead solutions. So we build stuff that helps lift from overhead to unweight things. This acquisition was started really focus on a product line that would help people convey things in a warehouse space. So the company formal name was Engineered Lifting Systems and Solutions. They're 3 hours just across the Canadian border from us here in Rochester. And they had actually been a customer, a dealer of Gorbel for 20 plus years. So maybe 30 people made up the entire company. And they invented this product line. They're more of a job shop, but the product helps load and unload tractor trailers and containers that are full floor to ceiling with products, heavy stuff. And you open the door of a 53-foot long trailer, and your job is to get that stuff into onto a conveyor. It is just backbreaking work. So this product line allows them just basically to slide 3 times as fast and with hardly any effort to load and unload these trucks. So we saw them in March 2020. COVID was literally, it was the week things were going nuts. I was at this trade show, saw them there again with this product, and every big e-commerce company is saying, we need this, we want this. 2 weeks later, it was April 1st. I was out for my morning kind of clear my head run, and the sun's coming up. I'm like, world's going crazy and going, who knows where it's going. I said, what if we could help these folks? What if we could help that company? So I called one of the owners who I knew well and said, hey, Paul, you look like you're busy. Can we help? We have supply chain, we have people, we have capital, can we help? And he said, this is bigger than us. Would you buy us?
Wow.
So I said, yeah. So takes us into the warehouse space, kind of this beachhead with a totally differentiated, patented product line. And it's right when, everyone knows what happened with supply. Here, no one probably could spell supply chain before COVID. Now this is at the heart of fixing a problem with labor, with all sorts of productivity. Folks like Amazon, Walmart, I mean, all these folks want hundreds of units. So we stood up a big facility over here in Henrietta, New York, learned to build this product line with a closed border, which was multiple years of being closed, this big complicated product line, just to be able to scale. And we hired hundreds of people to get through the tough pandemic of finding people. And it has been just, again, transformational in the way of new markets for us. We've got this whole new business over there. So that's kind of the backstory. Getting to your question around culture. So here we are buying a company, the big, perhaps ugly American company coming into Canada. A lot of folks who worked there at the time had been other places that loved the culture that they had workplaces that had shut down, and so they're concerned of what's our future look like. And so and we can't go travel and sit like this and tell them this is who we are, this is how we act. So through all means possible, leveraging our strategy map and our values, we engage with them just to say this is what we're all about, and we know we have to earn the trust. But as soon as we were able to travel, we included them in. We were up there and bring people down. As soon as we're able to, do our quarterly all-in meetings again remotely with all of them, just wanted to show them that this is who we are. So to this day, they have an incredible culture. They've really didn't have the structure that we bring to performance management or kind of formally laying out this is what's important to us, is how we expect you to behave. This is how you expect you to interact with your peers. Those have really, I think, been a nice addition to what was already a great culture of this company. And they're over 50 years old, and
so it sounds like maybe they learn from you and you learn from them too. Maybe some best practices shared, right? And I want to go back to the beginning of the story where you talked about that anything that you do has to make people's lives better, and the physical product of just getting these things off the truck. You're helping people's their backs long term, right? And I mean, I have my father, I don't think he'd like to be called an elderly father, but he's 80.
Yeah.
And he's having back issues,
Right.
and so anything you could do to avoid that stuff for people
Right.
is so incredible as you get into we'll say your senior years, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back, this business, this product, the culture, it checked all those boxes,
Yeah.
of improving people's lives. And
Yeah.
the name of the product is called De-Stuff It. So it does what it does if you go to destuffit.com. But again, picture, a 53-foot mountain of tires.
Yeah.
I got to get out, and pull one at a time.
And they would do it like manually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
hand stack them on a pallet, drag them out. It was, so we're here to do just that, improve people's lives.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, congratulations on everything that you're doing. We appreciate that you, continue to stay here, not only in New York State, which sometimes makes it interesting for companies to thrive here, but you're finding ways. And,
Yes, we are.
and actually staying in the Rochester area locally. And even that in my hometown of Victor. So thanks for employing over 700 people worldwide. Wishing you continued massive success. If people want to learn more about you, maybe they want to, contact you to share some best practices, learn from you, or maybe they're just like, wow, that sounds like a great company. I want to work there.
Please, we're always looking for good people. Yes, come.
Yeah. How do they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So Gorbel.com, it's Gorbel.com is our website. You'll see all the products and case studies, and again, I hope you feel the culture there. Back to that whole branding side.
Yeah.
So Gorbel.com. My email, personal, BRIREH at Gorbel.com. Love to hear from anybody, point them in the right direction, or be able to assist them with anything that might be of use.
Yeah, thank you. And if everybody wants a personal connection to Brian, you can throw me an email or email Sarah at Optimize Show, and I will connect you with Brian, no problem. So
cool.
And if you stay to the end, please enjoy this picture of Brian's COVID hair, which is super fantastic.
Well, it might come back. I don't know. Maybe that'll be in vogue someday.
I think part of it was why it's so funny too is people who know you, you're normally kind of a calm, fun but calm professional guy.
Sure.
You're not out there acting like a wild man, and so it was good to see that side of you.
The lighter side,
it's the lighter side of Brian. It's there. We'll ask Gail, your wife, about that. Right?
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for being on the show, and wishing you continued success, Brian.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right.
And thank everybody for watching another great episode of the Optimize Show. We're here every Wednesday morning. Make sure to go to our website, check us out. Go to our YouTube page, like us, follow us, subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Make sure to stay awesome.